basically somebody that's done all the 18 courses, somebody that has done the majority of 18 courses. It's somebody that you see as moral, well-practiced, well-rounded teacher. Yeah?
How do we go about that? How do you go about that?
Good. How do you go about that? I would like to start a spreadsheet that I promise I will keep confidential. And on that spreadsheet, if you have been studying for a while, I would like to get the name of some senior students that come to the 3 jewels and offer them to you, like Peter, for example. Peter is a candidate for an A Lama ring. Yeah? Like Rachel is a candidate for an A Lama ring. Yeah? Like Paul. Like we have lots of people in this room who are like you, Javier. Yeah? Who are good. No, seriously, if you're beginning a journey, you look at people like these older students and you go, they're doing something. Yeah? So you want to have your practice checkable. You don't want to be doing silly things or assuming or being lost even. You know, I'm available, you can ask me questions. I do pretend to have all the answers to myself, but I don't really. I don't really, honestly, I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to practice these ideas, and so are all the people you see around you. And you know what? When you do it right, something beautiful happens. I can tell you that. But when you do it wrong, something shitty happens. I can tell you that. And that's learning. That's learning. So learn. So I would, if someone would like to help me put together the spreadsheet, I would be very happy. Are you good in Excel? Are you sure? Yeah. Can you make it in Sanskrit? Yeah.
Give me 2 more weeks.
So can you, and I'm talking with Lama John Stilwell, and together we'll have a list of senior students who, if you don't have a relationship, so if you don't want to approach these people yourself and you say, oh, you know, I don't really like Rachel, you know, she's
what? Rachel's awesome. That is bullshit.
You know, Peter, well, you know. So, you know, if you're not confident enough or it doesn't vibe with you or something and you just want someone else, I might have a list to share with you, yeah, of people. If you think you've got enough of this in your gut, if you've done the 18 courses or the majority or most of them, come and see me and see if we can put your name down as an A Lama. The idea is, to the best of your ability, connect with somebody to try and break these ideas and come to some certainty about practicing them. Because at the end of the day, I'm showering you, this course is showering you for 5 years, and I was trying to explain it during the break. Imagine that it's Shinto Kokyo and there is a map to this amazing building, this incredible architecturally beautifully designed complex. And this course tells you that there are 3 big sections in this complex. 1 on compassion, 1 on renunciation, 1 on wisdom. And there's some overlapping of levels in this complex. And all this course is doing for 18 courses, so this program is doing for 18 courses, is you, blindfolded, unable to see, holding you by the hand, taking you to a section like the one we're doing now, course 4 on Brahmana. Opening your eyes and saying, this is the red room, this is the green room. And all you get to see is look at it. You don't know how it's connected to the compassion side. You don't know how it's connected to the other wing of the building. But over the next 5 years, you begin to see the shape of this building, and you'll be able to feel and understand how to get from one section to the other. And at that time, like Jade Tsongkhapa said, you will not see contradiction where you previously were lost. So I don't understand. So for example, this depth, we go quite in depth. We're inside this red room. We're talking about pramana and perception and past, present, and future. And what does it mean? Because, and how do I put that into practice? Well, it's like you're taking a bath, and it's sitting on your skin. The scent of this room is in you. For a little bit, let it grow. Try and break it. And then the next course, it's beautiful because the next course we actually talk karma, right? Course 5. It's beautiful because we say how these things erupt. You get to go to another section of the building, and then from that a practice emerges, which is your practice. Like there's no other practice. So I want to address the issue of Nei Lama because it'd be a beautiful thing to make sure we do it formally. So see Brianna and me if you want to put your name on it, or if you need to find a Nei Lama, and we'll connect you, we'll match you. This class or with John Stillwell's class and other people that come here. It's very important. And then I want to talk, there was an article in the New York Times that came out this week, and then there was an article on this, what's the Elephant blog? Yeah? It's just some concerning people seem a little lost with what to do with that. There's some articles that disparage Geshe Michael Roach or disparage the 3-year retreat, and there's people's opinions on these things. Yeah, and there's an article in the New York Post and this thing and the other thing. And I have to tell you quite honestly, if you know your practice, you know what to do with that. I actually like when things shake up, because you know bullshit practice from real practice when your whole world shakes. So use this as an opportunity to apply your knowing, what you know. And if you know a part of your knowledge is shaky, good. Ask the questions. This is what it's for. It doesn't concern me that these opinions are out there at all. On the contrary, it gives me certainty that I must have total responsibility over my practice, because I can give you this information. What you do with it, I can't control. How you think about it, I can't control. All I know is what I'm sharing with you came to me and many people here through the holy special lips of this creature called Geshe Michael Roach. I didn't like the dude at the beginning. Part of the concerning thing for the article for me was I used to feel some of those things. So that was the, and I feel those things. But then I check my pramanas. What's my reality here? Is there anything that I'm learning, that I'm teaching, that is Geshe Michael Roach? And to be honest, it's not. But how to apply it, how to practice, that's only you. And that's only me. And we do it together, and we do it through other people that we witness practicing. So what I'm saying to those of you who know about the article, and it's not just about this, it's about anything else. The world is this. The world is people having opinions, making assumptions about things that are Kokyo and Shinto Kokyo, and then making them certain. I know exactly what happened, and this happened, and that happened, and that happened, and it's wrong, and it's bad, and it's terrible. Now I can have my energy of negativity come out, be pasted on this world self-existently around me, and I'm vindicated. But it doesn't work that way if you investigate a little deeper. About this or anything else. This is no different to turning on TV. It's just TV. So, to talk about those things, I'm also available. So is Lama John. So will be your Nei Lamas. I like it because it shakes me up. Like I said, I think in the last class, you know what part of your practice is pretend. And that's okay. And you also know what part of your practice is serious, what you know. And that's good. And you also know what part of practice you don't gel with yet. you don't get. And that's okay. That's good. No one else can put that in there. I know you want to say something, but I'm running late. Is that okay? 10 minutes I said, right? So we've got 8. Here we go. Any questions on that? Sorry. Thank you. So, what did I say the last statement was?
Nungchin Ningo.
So the three tests for a statement made by an enlightened being was
Doesn't
Say that
contradict
again?
a direct perception. Doesn't contradict a valid perception.
doesn't contradict a valid perception, so you can't disprove it with a valid perception, can't disprove it with airtight logic, and nothing it said contradicts what he said prior, right? So then he also said this, say after me, Madang, Pani, Seja Shing. What's Ma and Pa?
Mother and father.
Excellent. Yes, so Ma and father. Yeah, Dang is and, right? So Ma Dang Pa is mother and father. Ni Seja means kill. Xing means and. So he said you should kill your mother and father, and then he goes on to say your town and your community and the place you live. Right? Ba-bow. Cognitive dissonance. Yeah? What's that about? Is that true? Should you do that?
Literally, no.
Literally, no. Right? So there's this question, literally or figuratively, did he mean? So now there's a whole field of study which is not part of Dharmakirti's work here, which comes from Majjhimika, middle school, which goes on to study and describe how to interpret the Buddha's literal or figurative speak. This is worth investigating. And that practice is called drangye, which is up there. Drangye. Why is it important to determine if a spiritual teacher is telling you something figuratively or literally? After the statement I just read. Okay, I don't need to get an answer for that. So there are 3 ground rules or 3 conditions that help you determine if something was figurative or literal. By the way, I'll go in. So say Gongxi. So Gong is thought and Shi is basis, and that just means what is the true intent, or what's the intent behind. So the first thing you need to determine is what's the intent behind this statement, to see whether or not if it's figurative or literal. So what would the intent be behind a statement like this if you had to guess? Does it mean you have to do it? Don't be attached. That makes sense, right? Now, let's go to the second one. Say Nyungla, Nuja. So Nyung, Nyu is reality, La is to, Nu is contradict, and Ja is it does, which means, does it contradict the obvious reality, your Nungyu? Does this statement contradict what's obvious to you? Yeah? Should you kill your mother and father? There's something that you know you shouldn't do. Not only that, in the confessions that we do. So first of all, it's a vow, no killing, right? Secondly, it's sort of law in our world not to kill people, particularly your mother and father. Yeah, it's also one of the 5 heinous deeds, right? The ones that, according to Buddhist thought, you go straight to a hell, which is killing your mother, killing your father, killing an heart,
Breaking up
the community of monks at the time of the Buddha, and there's something else. Anyway, so it smacks you in the face of your reality that it's not quite right, that there's something wrong with the statement. So that's what that is, Nyungla Nuja. So does it contradict your reality or the correct perception? In other words, if I say to you, this is red, that's like an insult to your perception, right? It should do like, oh, that's what that is. For those of you who are listening, Nyu means funny face. And the last one is Gupa. Say Gupa.
Gupa.
If you can determine that there was a compelling need. So gu is compelling and pa is need. Great. Is there a greater purpose served? Is there a compelling need to speak figuratively as opposed to literally? And so those are the three tests you apply to any statement that you go, that's a little suspicious, or how do I determine if you meant it literally or figuratively? So for example, the Buddha taught 4 different schools, I said at the beginning, and to the Abhidharmists, he taught that there really exist things out there. Really out there. Separate to your perception. It's the same dude that taught mine only school. This school. So there's a conflict in your mind that should arise about things contradicting each other. Good. What would be the compelling need to teach somebody to kill your mother, to say kill your mother and father? Because you said, Paul, it would be to highlight the to not be attached, right? So what would be a compelling need to tell a group of people not to be attached in this way? Why can't I just say, just don't be attached? You get a very different reaction, right? Like this is so jarring that it stays with you. Another example of a figurative or literal gupa is the way we are taught not to teach emptiness to people who are not prepared. So that might be why you might teach somebody that things really exist out there. Because if you teach them a deeper level of reality, it might freak them out so much that what happens if you get taught the idea of emptiness and you're not prepared psychologically or mentally for it? You go to 2 extremes. And one would be nihilism, meaning things don't exist. Things don't exist at all. Yeah? And therefore, I don't give a crap. Let's kill people, let's rape people, let's do all sorts of things. They don't matter, they don't exist. Yeah? I can just pour these all over me, nothing will happen. But this is what happens to an unprepared mind so you might need to have a compelling need to teach people that, look, there are things out there, just keep your morality. Until the karmas, which we'll get on the next course, until you get to understand how karma works. So this is a compelling need. And lastly, 1 minute. Why did Master Dignaga use the term Sema-gyupa? What's Sema-gyupa? We've done it 3 times now. Last class, beginning of this class, and now. Actually, it's Sema-gyupa, sorry. Sema is... Yeah, gyupa is... someone who turned correct, okay? Someone who turned correct. What would he say the term turned correct and not became correct or was correct? I'll just tell you because we've got 30 seconds. It's to highlight to you a negative statement and a positive statement. So something that didn't happen and something that did happen. So what would be the implication of a thing that isn't by saying somebody turned totally correct or turned enlightened? He wasn't always like that. Excellent. Meaning he was like us. In fact, most of the tales in the Vinaya are about the Buddha's past lives and all the crappy things he did. That should give us some kind of empathy to say, I do that, I do that. So, like us. So he wasn't always correct. And what's the positive implication of that statement? You can become correct. That you can become correct. So that will help you in your homework. In fact, this turn correct, the first of the 5 qualities listed in Dignaga's beginning of the book, is the 2nd chapter of Dharmakirti's commentary on Dignaga's book. It's turning correct, which is about the path. So with that, thank you so much for listening. Sorry it was rushed. I'm surprised it's only 10 minutes over. And let's quickly return to that thing that was you listening with new eyes, hearing with new noses. And I hope you take that out with you as we offer whatever the most perfect universe is. And if you can have that image in your mind of what you have to meditate for the next week, which is on the Buddha's statement that life is suffering, let's turn that suffering into perfection. Ukir jishir metokram Vira vinchir impagi Sangye shindur mitewagi Yokun nanda shinajipasho Idam Guru Ratnamandala Kamniyatayami Digokun Sunam Yeshe Saksakshin Sunam Yeshe Lejunwe Ramba Kuni Joparsho. Thank you for coming. Make it real in your hearts. Thank you.